talk about the special teams and because you're over that, what do you see?
Yeah, I would say right now Scott Ariano is really kicking the ball really, really well. I'm just trying to find the right mix of guys for the cover team, and I think we have a really good pool of guys that we can get a great team ready for UConn. From there, Adam Hine is doing a great job in the kick return game, along with Jordan Leslie. He's done awesome. And then add Devon Blackman to that. He's done a great job also. And then just trying to find the right personnel for the frontline guys and the wedge guys. I'd say right now Trevor Sampson, if we had to go today, would be our kicker. He's kicked the ball consistently really well. Moose Bingham's right behind him. Percentages are very, very close, but Trevor, he has a little stronger leg and he's been a little more consistent over time. Because I covered everything, or am I missing something, Jeff? What else?
Say punt return?
Punt return right now, going into the game, we would probably go with Keanu Nelson. But it's still a battle between him, Jordan Leslie, and I would say Michael Shelton would be in that mix, but those are the guys. But I think it's, J.D. Fawcett was very shifty and nifty back there. Not the best speed, but he, obviously had enough to take one to the house. But I would say these guys are all very capable of just one guy making one guy miss and taking the thing to the house. So it'll be a little different than having JD back there, but those guys are all very capable of having an explosive play when they're back there.
You've got a really exciting young group of linebackers coming up here with Fred and Longy, Hines, Cook, a lot of young guys that look like they're promising in the program. Will you talk a little bit about these guys that are up-and-comers in the program and what you're seeing from them?
Yeah, I would say the guy that's made the most impact so far has been Fred Warner. He's come in the best prepared, just knowing what to do, and he's been running with the ones pretty much all of fall camp just because of some guys being dinged up a little bit here and there with Alani being out for a little bit and Bronson, but been very, very impressive at Sandbacker. From there, I'd say the next guy that's the most ready to play would be Troy Hines. He really, his pass rush is really good right now. He's going to be a really good guy coming off the edge here in the future, but just trying to get his body back from the mission. He hasn't even been home a month yet, and so just trying to get his body back, but very impressive how well he's come back. But he still has a little ways for game shape ready. Tyler Cook coming in, has been pretty physical, just had a hard time learning the defense, but made some huge strides yesterday and today. And then we moved Sione Takitaki to the outside backer after the scrimmage on Friday. And very instinctive, natural pass rusher coming off the edge. So there's a huge pool of guys to choose from. Now, just the biggest thing will be the guys that can pick up the scheme and who will be ready to play come the UConn game.
What went into moving Takitaki to outside backer?
Yeah, we just wanted to throw him out there and see what he could do, and in 2 rushes he had 2 sacks. So that just made the decision for us. Not very hard.
In terms of continuity, has camp been a little difficult because, especially at the linebacker position, so many guys have come in and out? Has that been a problem throughout camp?
Yeah, I would say it has been. I'd say, just at the beginning having Alani there and then having Bronson out, and now vice versa. Alani's been a little dinged up, but the thing I know about both those guys, they'll both be ready to play. They'll both know what to do. Both really smart guys, know the defense very well, not just the outside backer spots, every spot on the defense. And so I have no worries that that they'll be ready for the game. But just having those 2 guys out there at the same time, yeah, it does change things a little bit. We can't call some things that we want to call, but for the most part, we're able to get done what we need to get done.
Back to Bronson, and I mean this in the best possible way. I mean, is he just a freak when it comes to, regardless of missing time, whatever, always being able to give you 100%?
Yeah, no, I mean, he kept himself in really good condition from the time that he got injured to now. But that's just the type of guy he is. I mean, he works out like 4 times a day. We got to tell him not to work out. He's one of those guys. But he's just a super hard worker, and he's really mastered some different techniques and crafts that he needed to be a great outside backer. So I'm really anxious to see how that's all going to come together in the game.
With fall camp kind of wrapping up here, coming into fall camp, I think there were some question marks at the outside linebacker spots. How do you feel the unit's progressed as a whole?
Yeah, I would say that, with the depth that's being established, obviously Alani and Bronson are the guys that will be the starters going into the game. But Fred Warner been very, very pleasantly surprised with his progression. Michael Elise has been out the last couple of days, but he started really strong, and now he has just a little, thing he's dealing with, but he'll be all right here in a couple of days. So just having those 2 guys alone is more depth than what we had last year at the position, having to play Kyle and Alani pretty much the whole entire game. But then on top of that, I think Troy Hines will be able to help us. And then when Saitatu gets healthy, I think he'll be able to help us. So like I've said from the very beginning, I think there'll be 5 to 6 guys that will be getting playing time.
Special teams didn't have its best game in the bowl game. You feel like you've got those problems?
No. I think last year when it got near to the end of the season, I think with the tempo and the depth, we lost a lot of guys injury-wise, and our depth wasn't great at the end of the season. And, Coach Mendenhall and I, that's been one of our emphasis in the offseason, making sure that when it comes down to the kickoff team and the punt team, we have our best athletes out there, and that's what you guys are going to see. You're going to see a lot of starters, or you're going to see a lot of guys that are really good athletes out there running down, because that's basically what happened in the Washington game. We were playing with a lot of guys that, first of all, didn't have much game experience, and second of all, weren't the best of athletes. And we got exposed, and it, in my opinion, cost us the game. If that doesn't happen in the Washington game, I believe we have a really good chance to win that game. But I feel like we have a bigger pool than ever on special teams to choose from, and I'm just anxious to get those guys out there and make some plays for us.
Listening to you, it sounds like you're expecting Alani to be healthy within the next 10 days.
Oh yeah, he was out there today.
Okay.
He started out and then they just pulled him off. But yeah, he'll be ready to go.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else?